Go.
Today is Sunday the 5th of September, and I was planning to speak at the protest in Glasgow yesterday, the Unite for Truth protest in George Square. However, in the end I couldn't do my speech just because the content of some of the other speeches were so poorly matched with the content of my speech, so I felt like what I was going to say would have been too incongruent with the topics from the other talks. So I thought I would record myself, or my daughter's recording me actually, in Kelvingrove Park this morning. Here is what I would have said yesterday. Hello, beloved friends. A year ago today, I attended my first ever protest about anything at Holyrood against the COVID restrictions. I'd like to say I am surprised that we are still at this, but I'm not. I think I'll see you again in another year and the year after that. 4 months ago, I spoke at length at Holyrood at the May Day gathering. I'd like to say I'm surprised that here we are now, only more oppressed than we were in May, but I'm not. Some of you may have been at that protest in May this year or seen my speech as it was filmed. It was a lengthy rationalisation of my position on lockdown, and I wanted to summarise the basis of the arguments against lockdown and all COVID mitigation strategies employed by the Scottish Government. Not one of those strategies or measures has worked to achieve its stated aims. Not one was implemented on the basis of evidence. The only thing the government hasn't tried was the only thing they should have been doing from the start: treating COVID from symptom onset. But you all know this. Everyone in the country has heard at least once all of those arguments. It's just that most have rejected them. These truths are worth remembering, and they are still true because they will always be true. They were true a year ago, they are true now, they will be true 100 years from now. We have to accept, though, we are not changing minds. Many people are now choosing actively to submit to all these new so-called rules to some extent. They can't see what we see, either because they just genuinely don't or because they don't want to. For many, what we see is too overwhelming and frightening. We can't change this now. We probably should stop trying. The road is long and we have to sustain ourselves. So today I want to share with you how my focus has shifted. Some of you here have been awake for a long time. Some of you, like me, have made many deeply unsettling discoveries in the last year. Discoveries you would rather not have made. Life was easier before you made them. But for all of us, I think our journey, whenever we started on it, has been painful and frightening. We have probably all turned to people we trusted and loved to try to share our concerns and discoveries, and we were met with rejection and anger and frustration. You've been called conspiracy theorists many times, so many it has ceased to hurt you, and other slurs have been used against you. Your legitimate and rational views have been snubbed, dismissed and treated with derision by those you love and strangers alike. I'm sorry it has happened to you. I have done it myself to loved ones in the past, and I have gone back to them and apologised in the last year because I now understand how painful an experience that is. I'm also sorry that many of you have had the awful experience of warning people months ago about the COVID-19 vaccines. You were met with anger and dismissal and called an anti-vaxxer, even if you have always been fully vaccinated. You hoped you were wrong about the COVID-19 gene therapies, but now you have had the experience of watching people around you damaged by them, or at least you have strong suspicions. I know this because many of you have been in touch to share with me your experiences. I have some of my own. It's agony. All this is bad stuff. There is an evil force moving through us. But I also know that many of you have made new friends in the last year. You have come together with complete strangers who share your approach to thinking about the world and found a strong and beautiful bond. You have seen the truth about the world around you that you did not understand before, and a bit like giving birth, it was frightening and painful, but empowering and productive. It has changed you, and for the better. You won't always have conducted yourself with grace through this, and you will have been at fault in some interactions with friends. I hope we can all fix those mistakes, but where you are now is a more peaceful place within yourselves. What we are now is a brand new community, and we are strong. We've had to build something out of the truth we have learned, and that is powerful. Much of the old world is built on lies, and that is unsettling for the people still living in it. It can make them frightened. This is why people pounce on an anti-vaxxer conspiracy theorist as soon as they hear anything that contradicts their stated view. We have so many lies under our feet. We as a society cannot tell a truth from a lie, and we are now removing rights to free speech and simultaneously forcing correct speech on trending issues. The lies are everywhere and relate to every matter. They have to be protected. They cannot survive interrogation, so we stop people speaking freely. A strong society is based on the foundation of respectful listening and open minds. It should assume the goodness in people and not react defensively when it hears a new idea. It should not idolise scientists nor ignore spiritual leaders. But the society I believe we are building does have strong foundations. Its foundations lie in truth. In my time speaking and working with new friends, I have found it a truly joyful experience to witness again true debate. I have loved watching friends look one another in the eye and have a vigorous debate, vigorous disagreement, and then move on respectfully and in love. We had lost that ability in the old world. I just had to say something like, I've seen this physics paper and I'm not sure lockdown does anything to reduce COVID spread, to find myself accused by a dear friend or relative of wishing elderly people to die. This is not good. It is the death of a society when this happens. It can only happen when the truth is stifled by a single narrative controlled by some entity that does not have people's best interests at heart. I do not see this in our new world. I see love and respect and a genuine desire to get to the truth. I see people who are not defensive and could stand calmly by their position all day long without resorting to name calling because they are so secure in what they know. You are all lights in a dark place. Light is not always welcome in the darkness, but that doesn't mean it isn't needed. You have all taught me how to think and to listen. You have challenged me and taken me out of comfort and into light. This week, I found myself despondent. You might have heard our Corona Stories podcast on Wednesday night. And then I spoke to some of you and you brought me back to hope. Nothing can touch us. Just keep peacefully saying no. Evil is weak and it doesn't take much to push it back. Please nurture your new communities, find joy in them, focus on them, love your new friends and keep reaching out again to old ones. The darkness will deepen, but concentrate on caring for the light. Do not be disheartened. Do not give in. Be determinedly joyful. Hold the line, not in anger, but in love. You are not here for an easy life. You are here to guard the truth. Hold the line. Stay sane, stay strong, and remember, I love you.